Hello, and up for sale today, I've got a beautiful Land Rover Defender 1993 with the 200 TDI in Arles Blue. This is a UK import, so it is right-hand drive. It has been legally imported. It's now located here in Michigan and comes with a clean, clear Michigan title. So let me walk you around the vehicle. I'll show you inside, outside, underside, and we'll take it for a test ride. Now, not only is this thing a real beaut, it's got a beautiful paint job, but it's also ready for off-roading. All sorts of aftermarket parts, all sorts of new suspension parts. And we'll start off here in the engine bay. As you can see, that is a beautiful new cylinder head in great shape. No leaking out of the valve cover, no leaking out of the head gasket. Timing belt cover looks new as well. And there's all sorts of weighting, your breather tubes. They connect right there. There's even a breather tube in the timing belt cover. So those are all your axles, your center diff, and they connect and come all the way up here to the top of the snorkel. So you could technically take this thing in water all the way up to here, and you wouldn't get any water in the axles or the engine. So super ready for wading. If you're going to name the vehicle, you could name it Wade Bogs, because you could wade it through some bogs. Get it? Anyways, joke time's over. Here's the front of the vehicle. Beautiful set of light surrounds. Those are new LED signals and lights. Those are halogen bulbs. Grille is standard. Bumper, that's new. Beautiful looking bumper. Standard stock flat black wheel arches. Beautiful set of BF Goodrich all-terrains with 5-spoke Defender aluminum alloys. Now we do have, I think this is about a 5-inch lift kit, so the shock towers had to be extended, and there's a bunch of aftermarket parts as well, radius arms and stuff like that. But for now, let's take a look here at the front outrigger. Super good shape. I don't see any welds or patches there. We do have some tree sliders, or rock sliders actually. Bulkhead, great shape. Windscreen seal looks good. That is a massive light bar, and this is a front runner roof rack. This is a serious upgrade to a regular old boxy roof rack. This is a beautiful roof rack. It does have floodlights on the outside on both sides, and one on the back as well. We got aftermarket sliding rear windows, and these are a good upgrade from stock. I just took this thing through the power washer and no leaks out of the windows, which is great. Not most Defenders can pass that test. A little bit of corrosion in the door bottoms, but the frames are in decent shape. A little bit of rust there on the corner, but no holes or anything, so they're under control. We do have some galvanized door sills as well, which is nice. Moving on here to the back. Again, plenty of tread on these BFGs. Rear cross member, it looks to be in great shape. That has been welded and replaced. And again, we got a massive lift kit, some extended shock towers, so those are in good shape. In the back here, we've got a tire carrier. It's a little bit higher than normal, so you can put a jerry can right here. A little bit of corrosion and a couple dents and dings here in the corner. There's a look at the rear cross member from the outside. It's in beautiful shape. All right, moving along. Here's the rear door. Pretty decent shape. A little bit of rust on the bottom, but not too bad. I think this is galvanized as well. In the back here, we've got rubber floor mats. We've got a front-facing jump seat and a inward-facing jump seat as well. And they both fold up and out of the way. Cargo net in the back as well. Rear window seals look great. Again, this paint job, I would say, is probably like an 8 out of 10, 8.5 maybe. Super glossy, shiny. It's probably been done 4 or 5 years ago maybe, but it does have a few dents, few scratches from off-roading, you know, and that's what these vehicles are for. Cappings are in great shape. Rock sliders on both sides. There's your snorkel. Here's a look at the roof rack on the passenger side. And again, passenger door, great shape. A little bit, you know, tiny bit of rust that got painted on, so that's going to last a good amount. Galvanized door sills, vinyl seat covers, dashboard looking super clean. Headliner is new, and let's go ahead and start it up. Okay, so we do have an immobilizer here, so we have to have the keychain, and you have to like press it on that little button in order to start it up, which is nice. It helps prevent theft. So there's your glow plug light, oil pressure light, battery light, fuel gauge is working, temperature gauge is working, and real smooth running engine. Definitely very peppy, and no smoke out of the tailpipe. All right, so starting off here in the rear, super clean. We got a 300 TDI axle with disc brakes as well. Some aftermarket bump stops. Exhaust pipe looks great. There's a good look at the A-frame ball joint. Diff protector on the rear diff as well. A nice set of Old Man Emu shocks and springs. And there's a look at the rear cross member. Super solid, good looking rear cross member. And here on the passenger side, there's another look at the rear cross member. Beautiful shape. And here's the extended rear control arms. There's a look at the rear axle. There's a new drive shaft as well. Bushings on the rear control arms, great. There's a look at the chassis, and then there's the front radius arms. Those are aftermarket as well and extended for the lift, so everything is symmetrical and the right length for the lift. All right, and here on the driver's side, we got a nice aftermarket tank protector as well. There's the chassis rails, great shape. There's your center diff. Here's your transmission. Here's your oil pan. Front drive shaft is new as well. And there's a track arm protector as well. So all sorts of beefy stuff under here. Diff guard. And new bump stops up front as well. And there's a look at the front dumb irons. All right, and up front here, it looks like we got a nice set of ceramic coated swivel housings on both driver and passenger side. Seals are looking good. There's a look at your aftermarket front radius arms as well. Center diff has a diff protector on it as well. And there's the skid guard for the track rod arm. Old Man Emu shocks and springs up front. We got a nice beefy skid plate, steering protector as well. So all sorts of aftermarket goodies on here to keep this thing protected while going off-road. There's the bottom of the motor. Looks pretty decent. I see a tiny little bit of oil leaking at the back there. So pretty typical for these 200 TDIs. Real easy fix, just drop the oil pan, new RTV sealant, and you're good to go. But yeah, super off-road ready. All sorts of protection under here, ready to go. All right, so let's take her for a little rip down the road. Again, all sorts of new suspension parts on this thing, so it's super solid. Handles the bumps nicely. Nice and tight steering. Tell the acceleration is a little bit more, a little bit above normal, so it probably had a boost pin installed or a little bit of work to the turbo. But as I'm looking out the rear view mirror here, I don't see any black smoke, so it was done correctly. So yeah, we're at 50 miles an hour, 55, and there's fifth gear. A little bit of top heaviness in the steering. That's definitely due to the 5-inch lift. Tiny little bit of vibration in the wheels. Tires could need some balancing. A little bit of a pull to the right. gonna mess with the alignment and the balance and the drive a little bit. But other than that, super solid. Accelerates great. Yeah, this definitely runs a little bit quicker than a stock Defender. Great pickup. Runs fantastic. Alright, so we'll get on the brakes here. Turn signals are working. Fuel gauge, temperature gauge, all working properly. Downshift into second. No grinding at all in the gearbox. Full lock here on the steering wheel. Nice tight. I can't even lock it. That's tight. So, all right, there we go. A little bit of tire rub at full lock. A little bit, but it's already got such a tight turning radius that I couldn't even use all of the steering there. Otherwise, I would have hit the curb. So that's taking off in second gear. You barely even need first gear. Yeah, she runs real good.